Come on in, pull up a chair, and take a load off, because today I'll be taking a first look and paging through Castles and Crusades, Gods and Legends from Troll Lord Games. And we'll dive on in right after this. Howdy, 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 gang. Welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host, here at the Gaming Gang channel. As I mentioned in the open, today I'll be taking a first look at Castles and Crusades, Gods and Legends from Troll Lord Games. It's written by Davis Chenault with Stephen Chenault, Brian Young, Jason Bay, and Todd Gray. Artwork is provided by Doug Kovacs, Peter Bradley, Zoe DeVos, Jason Walton, Mark Allen, and Sarah Dreamy Walker. The 143-page hardcover carries an MSRP of $29.99, or you can grab just the PDF alone over at DriveThruRPG for $16.99. Also do want to mention, stay tuned, because I will let you know how you can get into the running in order to win a set of all 5 of the Castles and Crusades books that I've taken a look at this week in PDF. So kick back, keep your eyes peeled. All right, let's swing on over to the other camera, because here I've got Castles and Crusades, Gods and Legends. So before we jump on in, do want to mention the fine folks over at Troll Lord Games were kind enough to provide me with this review copy, but neither I nor anyone else affiliated with the Gaming Gang has received any other sort of compensation for me to share this coverage with you. These days, it's important that you know that. As always, I'll be up here picture in picture, so as we take a peek through, I will be cutting off a little bit of the upper left portion of the book. Also, we're not going to look at each and every page, but I do want to give you a good feel for what you're going to find within Gods and Legends. So let's take a look at the back here. The will of the gods. Though the gods dwell beyond the confines of the world, it is often their desire to force their will upon the realms of mortals. Channeling this divine will lies upon the shoulders of the cleric and paladin, the skald and druid. They turn to the gods through prayer, ritual, sacrifice, and devotion, all in the hopes of bringing that power into and through themselves to unleash it upon the world at large. But there is so much more to the gods. Pantheons. Within Gods and Legends, there are hundreds of deities for both your characters and monsters. Dwarves, elves, gnomes, orcs, gnolls, and more besides. Each deity comes complete with information you will need, from when to sacrifice to what kinds of temples they prefer. It also includes short stats for the gods of the Celts, ancient Germans, Norse, Romans, Greeks, Egyptians, and the Slavic gods. More than that, Gods and Legends comes with guidelines on how to run deities and the characters that worship them. Sweet. All right, let's jump on in. First of all, I can tell right off the bat that is Doug Kovacs' artwork on the cover. I especially like Doug Kovacs' maps that he does for Dungeon Crawl Classics releases. All right, so popping on in here. I will mention that this is the 5th and final book that I'm looking at this week from Castles and Crusades, and I have had a lot of fun taking a peek at the 5 hard copies that Troll Lord Games were kind enough to send along to me. So on Monday, on the live stream, the Gaming Gang Dispatch, I took a peek at the Player's Handbook. On Tuesday, it was the Castle Keeper's Guide. And then on Wednesday, it was Monsters and Treasure. Now, yesterday, I shared a standalone video for the Codex of Erde. It's Erde, I think is how it's pronounced. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing it correctly at all. But we took a look at that, and that was kind of a gazetteer that was completely castle keeper facing, and a lot of fluff. And when I say fluff, I don't mean that in a derogatory term. It's just that it was a lot of background material for the game world. All right, so jumping on in here. First off, this is the first of the 5 books that I do notice is black and white art, which is fine. I have absolutely no issue with that because many of our great old school role-playing games had line artwork. So we're going to get a bit of a breakdown for the different classes, it looks like, to start off with. And it's under the Anvil of the Gods. So we have clerics, paladins, avengers, so an avenging knight, crusaders, and druids. So some discussion about healing. And then we're going to get into the pantheons. And I'm going to take a stab that we're probably going to see less than a page devoted to each, is my guess. So it looks as if, so we've got a couple here on this page. These are the humanoid deities. It's like quite a bit of sketch artwork as well. Pretty cool, pretty nice. So we have the dwarf deities. So it looks like we get their order. So I'm going to take a guess that how big their worshipers in numbers are is going to be a guess there. We have their province, which, as an example here, Thruster the Brewer is a greater order. Province is brewing, feasts, and healing. From the storied caverns plane, their alignment is chaotic good. What sort of temple would be a large chamber devoted to brewing? And you could sacrifice libations. And not applicable for holy days. Superstition, spilled cups, knocked over cups, and spoiled barley. Not applicable for preferred weapons. An adage, may your cup always be full. And the ceremony is partaking in the libations. Different granted abilities. So we've got some special abilities to the various different worshipers. So here it says, priests who worship Thruster can brew starting at 1st level. At 5th level, they can create 1 brew a week of 6 servings that produces the effects of 1 1st level cleric spell. That's kind of cool. Takes 1 week, 200 gold pieces to make the brew. At 7th level, they can do the same for 2nd level spells at 2 weeks and 400 gold. And at 9th level, they can do the same for 3rd level spells and 800 gold. That goes into a bit of background about the deity himself there. And then a little bit of information about the worshipers. Nice. I like the fact that we're going to also see some historical pantheons as well. And that is a real throwback to deities and demigods from AD&D way back in the day. So we've got the deities for halflings, gnomes, gnolls, bugbears. That's pretty wild. Oh, this is cool. I'm digging this. Goblins, who the goblins worship. Hobgoblins. It seems to me that hobgoblins are relatively prevalent in this game world because in some of the other books, I've noticed some sections devoted to hobgoblins more so than I would see in most epic fantasy role-playing games. So we've got lizard men, kobolds, dragon deities, centaur deities. Wow, we're breaking through a lot of various different creatures. Okay, so now we're going to get into historical. So you've got the Celts. Wow. So we got a few pages of these, although as you can see, there's quite a few of the deities on each of the pages here. I didn't realize there were that many Celtic deities. A few pages here. Going into some other Irish gods as well. Let's see what else we've got. Looks like a Bretonian. Here we go. Greek deities. Dionysus. Aphrodite, Ares, Apollo. Egyptian. They're pretty wild. I'm a big fan of ancient history, so I have actually listened to quite a lot of audiobooks about ancient history, and a lot of them were Egyptian. Pretty fascinating stuff. Right, so here we have some Germanic deities, Norse deities. There's Odin, obviously enough. The All-Father. And we've got our Slavic deities. And are we going to wrap up with some content for the Castle Keeper as far as running deities? Or are we just going to wrap up with, well, it looks like we're wrapping up with the deities themselves. So that other content's probably early on, kind of telling you how you can better run, deific entities and demigods and things like that. All right. So that is Gods and Legends for Castles and Crusades. And of course, I'll have a review of this book in the not too distant future. Let's swing on over to the other camera because I did want to mention that you have an opportunity to get into the running to win PDF copies of all 5 of the Castles and Crusades books that I've taken a look at this week. And it's pretty easy to get into the running. All you got to do is be a subscriber to the Gaming Gang channel and leave a comment on each of the 5 videos that I have shared this week. And when you leave a comment, please leave something substantial. Don't just say, oh, I want to win those PDFs. Come on. You're better than that. I know that. And of course, on July 5th, when the Gaming Gang Dispatch returns, I am going to share the winner. So be sure to get those comments in, be a subscriber, and of course, tune in on Tuesday, July 5th to see if you've won. All right, that is it for this time out. If you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, ding that bell. It'll not only let you know when I upload videos such as this first look, it'll also let you know when my live stream, the Gaming Gang Dispatch, airs Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central, right here on YouTube. And of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more that you won't find on the YouTube channel. Thank you very much for taking time out of your busy life to watch this video. And until I see you next time, here's hoping each and every one of you get to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang. Oh, hey, you're still here. Well, if that's the case, by all means, subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel by clicking right here. Check out the latest episode of the Gaming Gang Dispatch, or find out what YouTube recommends you check out from the channel. And of course, once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. Thanks for watching.